Welcome to the According to Sources podcast. This is your host, Andrea Williams. Today I am joined by a special guest, no Rob, no Devin. We have a special guest from the Bigs. You can go ahead and introduce yourself, brother. Go right ahead.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Eugene McIntosh, one half of the Bigs, and we are your number one Black-owned sports media outlet for Chicago. You can catch us at www.thebigs.us, and on social media, it's at It's The Bigs. So what's up, everybody?
Okay. So tell me how the Bigs got started. I personally know I've been following you guys for a good minute now, but I don't know how many of my followers know where you guys got your start from. So go ahead and give us a little bit about the website.
Well, the Bigs started, me and Terrence, my partner is Terrence Tomlin, the other half of the Bigs. We actually met through a mutual friend of ours, and he has the background in the editorial world and in that media world. Myself, I have a pretty good sports background. I went to Mount Carmel High School. I played with two should-be Hall of Fame athletes in Donovan McNabb, who played for the Philadelphia Eagles, and Antoine Walker, who played for the Boston Celtics, most notably Miami Heat, a couple other teams. But so I have that sports background. I also went to Southern University to play baseball. So I have that, like I said, I have that background, and I also started a management/production company, Stay Humble Entertainment, maybe 2000, 2001. It's basically like a hub for upcoming hip hop artists. We manage, do everything for them. So, like I said, with that background, we basically just merged the two, man. It's like a cultural thing, you know. We basically came up with a saying, "I'm of it, he's in it," and like I said, it works. It really works, man. It's really flourishing right now.
Okay, so who does most of the social media? Because the way that I do it, this is my website, but I have two other people that also do some of the social media. It's a guy named Devin and my cousin Rob.
Okay.
We do it together. But who does most of the social media for you guys, or is it like a combination of the two?
Yeah, it is really. We just, we take turns. We studied each other for the past, like it's been a year. Beginning of May made it a year. So over the year, we've grown. We've found each other's strengths and weaknesses. So like I said again, they work themselves out. So he knows what I'm strong at, and I know what he's strong at. So we just pick up the pieces. I'm like I have a bit more of a social following than he does. So I do more of the tweeting and more of the Facebook and things of that nature. But he is more on the site and in tune with that type of thing.
Okay. But I just wanted to give everybody a little bit of a background on you guys. Like I said, I've been following you for a little bit now, but I wanted everybody else to know where you guys come from.
Yeah.
But I did want to talk to you about, I'm going to go out of order a little bit. When I first started talking to you, I wanted to talk to you guys about the Bulls. I know that you guys, you get to talk, you go get in the locker room, you talk to the guys and everything. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Bulls. The first thing I wanted to talk to you about is Jimmy.
Of course.
I want you, see, here's my theory. Here's my thing with Jimmy. I know everybody loves Jimmy.
Right.
I don't love Jimmy necessarily as much as like most people that you see on Twitter love him, like Bulls blogger and all of the white guys. All of the white guys love Jimmy. They love Jimmy. Me, not so much. What is your opinions on Jimmy Butler?
Well, I think Jimmy Butler's a really good player.
Very good.
If we just gonna, well, okay, let's just say this. I don't know Jimmy Butler. Like most of those reporters, they don't know Jimmy. Like, they don't know these players. So to have an opinion about a player outside of his basketball skill is, I'm not going to go there because I'm just, so. But as a basketball player, Jimmy Butler's a really good basketball player. I just think he got in over his head. That's all. And he's not the first or the last to do it, man. Like, he got paid $100 million and hey, man, he went Hollywood. Let's just say it, and he even admitted it. Like, that's what gets me when we bring these things up, and then people get mad and hey, y'all hate Jimmy and all this. Jimmy admitted that he fell off this season. So
I want to know. So what do you think was the reasoning behind the Jimmy Butler versus Derrick Rose narrative that had been played out throughout the entire season? Do you think that's a real thing, or do you think that's just something that's perpetrated by the Chicago Bulls?
Oh yeah, that's just some media stuff, man. Them dudes, like excuse me, I talked to Rose enough. I know his couple of his closest friends, his right hand man. I'm not gonna say no names, but I know them. So that's all bull. Those guys have no problem with each other. It's just that it's an on court issue. Like, you can't just throw them on the court together and expect it to work.
Now,
so it was, it was just more of an on court thing than anything. They don't have any personal feelings. Like, wow, they grown men, man. I don't have no personal feel. Like Rose, they from two different walks of life. Like, come on, man, grown men. Just because they don't hang out and shit,
Yeah, but I mean, that's a normal thing. To be honest with you, Mike and Scotty didn't hang out.
Exactly.
They weren't the best of friends.
Exactly.
They tell you that very, very openly that they weren't the best of friends when they were playing basketball. But for some odd reason, with them, there seems to be some big rift that has been created, and I think a lot of it is because people just want Derrick Rose gone.
Right. We know that. Like, the narrative is there. Like, the one thing I don't think people understand is, like, these guys, okay, they're there for our entertainment, for the fans' entertainment, but those guys, that's also their job and their livelihood. So,
yeah.
Rose, I don't think Rose wanted to tear his ACL, So,
or his meniscus.
Or I don't think he wanted Taj Gibson to elbow him in the face to start training camp, So when people, the narrative is there. So I don't think people thought Rose would, get back to his MVP level. And I'm going to be first to tell you, maybe not first to tell you, but I'm going to tell you, he didn't lose any of that ability. And if you're smart, you know that he was just trying to make sure he eased himself back in, didn't hurt anything below, anything above his knees is fine.
It's okay with. It's okay.
So
you have the same mindset.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
You have the same mindset that I have. I mean, I've said this plenty of times. People, if you followed the website or followed me, I was very, very happy with the season that Derrick Rose had this year.
Right.
You have to really think about how much basketball he has not played. And then you think about him having a surgery. Like, I don't think people remember. He just had surgery last year in March. Or maybe it was February. I can't remember when he had the for the meniscus. I can't remember. But
right.
It was not too far removed from the time that he started playing basketball again. And then
he gets
pulled in the eye and fractures his face, and he can't do anything again. So he's not. His body isn't where he probably wants it to be. But the fact that he played more games in this 1 year than he's played in the last 3 years combined. That is a big thing. Like, that's a hump. That's a hurdle for him to get over. So we let him get over that hurdle, and then we see where he's at now. But I think it's so much vitriol towards Derrick. That I mean, short of him coming out and just having like another MVP caliber season, people aren't going to really want him here. You have people that'll look at Russell Westbrook and try to compare the two. And I've always maintained that you can't compare those two because Russell never tore his ACL. All he did
Exactly.
tore meniscus. I mean, hell, I'm walking around with a torn meniscus right now.
Wow, brother.
You know, you can do that. You can't. I mean, you can't play basketball. You can't do much, but yeah, you could maintain yourself without.
Right.
But you can't expect for an ACL and a meniscus to be comparable. And I think a lot of people are trying to compare the two, and it's brought Derek down a lot in people's eyes. Something else that has brought people down on Derek, I think, has been the Bulls organization. I think they've consistently done him a disservice all the way back to when they claimed that he was clear to play. When I think anybody who knows Derek or anyone in Derek's, his family or his camp, he always maintained he wasn't coming back.
Right.
So he felt comfortable with coming back, and they threw that out there. What are your views on the Bulls organization? Because they get a lot of negative attention, deservedly so. But what is your thoughts on this organization and where they're headed?
Well, we know Reinsdorf's favorite team is on the South Side.
Yep.
And you see what they're doing right now. So, but as far as Derek is concerned, I mean, with that whole thing, well, as far as Derek is concerned, I just think he needs to be represented better. Like, I don't know who his publicist or his PR people, or anyone that handles that part of his work. I know BJ Armstrong is his agent, but
yeah.
As far as his PR work and him speaking to the public and that thing, he does need work with that. But as far as the front office, I mean, they suck. Like Garpax, they have their own agenda, and that's just what it is. Like they let Mike go, man. So faith in what they do, I don't have any faith. Like, I'm just a fan, man. When Rose, my faith is determined when after next season, when we see what happens with Derrick Rose. Other than that, whatever, man. At this point,
the odds of them keeping them are so slim right now that I'm waiting on the bottom to fall out. I know a lot of people just want the Bulls to hand the keys over to Jimmy Butler, and as good of a player as Jimmy Butler is, if he's your best player, you're not a very good basketball team.
Man, please. Somebody argued me. I was in the barber shop on Friday. It's now Tuesday. So I put up a post. One of the guys in the shop was arguing with me about Jimmy Butler and Klay Thompson. This is before Klay exploded for that Game 6, that Game 6 win. So I put on Facebook, the guy was arguing with me, and after Game 6, is there still any question who the better player is, Jimmy Butler or Klay? And it's just like, come on, guys. Stop with the Jimmy Butler, man. Like, no, he's not a number one option in the NBA.
No, he's not. The difference between Jimmy and Klay, right? I think Jimmy is a more well-rounded basketball player.
Okay.
But what I do think is that Klay's ability to just erupt supersedes all of that.
Yeah. You know what? Well, I just feel like when you shoot the ball that well, you're always the most dangerous person on the court because like you said, you can erupt at any time.
Like in some of the shots he was hitting in that Game 6, he wasn't even looking at the rim. He didn't get the ball above his head. He was shooting from his hip.
Yeah.
From like all kinds of weird angles and not even getting his feet set. He's just shooting it up there. When he's shooting like that, I know Steph is the best shooter we've ever seen, but he's not, too far behind in that category. What are we talking about? I mean, we are talking about it now. Who did you have to win that series? Because before the series started, I said that OKC would win in 6. And for 4 games, I was looking like Nostradamus.
Yeah.
And then it happened. And you know what the funny thing is? Before, at the end of Game 4, when they were winning, when they won, I said the only thing that could stop OKC from winning this series is if they OKC the series.
All right, of course.
and they OKC'd it to hell.
Of course they did.
But I mean,
are you surprised? You're surprised?
I'm not, because I said they're gonna because they have a problem with closing games. So
Right.
I didn't really expect for them to be able to close the series. And before I picked them to win it, I said their late game tendencies is making it difficult for me to pick them, and it all reared its head. I think a lot of people thought that it was Scott Brooks that was holding them back, but I don't think so.
That's a lot. That's what they do a lot of the times in pro sports. They fire the coach because these guys don't live up to the hype.
Them two, Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, supremely talented. I would even say 2 of the top 5 basketball players in the league.
Yeah.
But they're just not very smart.
Yeah.
They're just not very intelligent about what they do at the end of games. And I think they got seduced into trying to do what Golden State did at the end of the games. And they're just not as good at doing that as Golden State is.
Let me give you a quick stat. Russell Westbrook had the most turnovers in the Western Conference Finals in 30 years.
Jesus. I'm assuming that Magic was the one before that. The Tragic Magic series. That's probably
all right. Yep. And that's exactly when it was.
I saw a stat that in game 6, he had for the first 46.5 minutes of the game, he had 1 turnover. And then for the last minute and a half of the game, he had 4 turnovers.
He had 4, yeah.
Then you had KD in game, so I don't know about KD. I want to like him as a basketball player, but it's a lot of situations where it's just he just fades away. And I don't know if that's because he's playing with Russell or if it's just something within him that causes that. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I like KD. When they came here, we got a chance to talk. I actually had a run-in with KD some years ago when I was managing, doing some hip hop out in DC, and we ran into him in the club. But I'll leave that for another time. But I met him. I met him again at the when Bulls played OKC this year, and after the game, we talked for a minute, and he was cool, man. He was real cool. So I got to liking KD, and I don't know. I think it's a combination of the two. Obviously, Westbrook is OC. He's really good and talented, athletic, all that stuff. I still take a healthy Rose over Westbrook,
and he's nowhere near where Derrick Rose was when he was.
Thank you, brother.
Anybody who thinks that, just kill yourself.
Thank you, man.
Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook was a difference between Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins.
Man, dude.
That's the difference.
Dude.
But those are the differences right there. Russ is really, really good at what he does, but Derrick was an MVP for a reason.
Thank you, man. So I think it's a combination of him and Russ, because it's I'd have been told Russ, come on, man. Me and you we too good to not finish one of these series. So that's on them. I think personally, do you think he needs to leave?
I said that. I mean, yeah, he needs to get out. First of all, I will leave the Western Conference anyway. I'll get the hell out.
Okay.
You're not winning. You're not even going to the finals in the Western Conference for the next 3 or 4 years.
Right.
The Eastern Conference is wide open if you go to the right team. LeBron can only do this for so much longer.
Yeah.
If he goes to the right team, then maybe he could go on one of those runs where he's in the finals for 3 or 4 out of 5 years or something like that. But the Western Conference isn't going to get it done.
I agree.
I think he needs to get away from Russ. His best year as an NBA basketball player was the year that he didn't have Russell Westbrook. And there was a reason for that, because he didn't have a crutch. He didn't have someone that he could lean on and say, well, you take this shot right now and I'll stand in the corner. He should never be standing in the corner. He should be the focal point of the offense at all times. And there are just situations where, like you said, Russ is just OC, and I love Russ. But sometimes he sucks the life out of Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And then you just in the first half of that last game, you had what was it, 5 different OKC players that are taking more shots than Kevin Durant. He took like 19 shots last night or something like that.
Yeah, Roberson took like 5, I think, and KD took 1 or 2 or something like that. Like, man, what the hell?
Anybody, does that make sense to anybody? The Thabo Sefolosha clone is taking more shots than Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
that
I know.
Doesn't make any sense, and a lot of that is because of the way that Russ is playing the game. Like, it's cool to play downhill, but if you have a weapon like Kevin Durant, you can't have Roberson taking 5 times the shots that he's taking, even if you do have the lead.
Yeah, I agree.
Or later, he's going to start missing those shots that he was hitting, but when he does that, Kevin Durant is no longer going to be in the game.
Exactly.
I think he does need to leave. I don't know where he could go. I mean, DC is always a good option. You have a guy, you got a Wall out there. He doesn't necessarily want to score the ball as much. He wouldn't mind being a facilitator, but I don't even know if that would work. I don't know where he could go, to be honest with you, but I think he needs to leave OKC.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think he should go somewhere out east too, and try to run a 3 or 4 year lick on him. Come on over here, man. We got room for you, KD,
Yeah.
Jimmy, Rose. That'll be,
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be exactly what we thought we were going to get when Melo bitched out.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to say it because I never begrudge a man for taking the money and taking care of his family and all of that. I never say a bad thing about Melo ever.
Right.
I damn sure like to see him in a Chicago Bulls uniform over Pau Gasol.
All day. That would have been raw, man. But yeah, let him. That 130 was talking to him, so it's all good, Melo.
We did a podcast about that, and I had somebody on, and I don't even know if anybody could hear the podcast because all we was doing was yelling at each other. Like, that's your goddamn mind. You talking about leave money on the table. Ain't no white owner ever left no money on the table. All black players to leave money.
Yeah, you got to be crazy. I'm going with the 130
every day of the week.
Man,
Lala's in there, boy. Yeah,
what?
If you don't take this money, I'm gonna leave you.
What?
And I'm gonna take that money.
Man.
So let's go to the finals. Who you got?
Oh man. I mean, I'm going with Golden State, man, the champions until somebody can beat them. I'm not a LeBron James fan at all. I'm not really a Steph Curry. My NBA day has passed, so it's all good. I still enjoy these games and the players and stuff, but
I grew up in the 80s and 90s, so
yeah, I'm good. I saw Big Mike. I saw Jordan from 84 to 98. I saw Iverson from 94 to 2011. So I'm good, man. But yeah, I'm going with Golden State until LeBron can show me otherwise. What about you?
Now, everybody, I'm going with Golden State. I think while the games will still be a 6-game series, I think this series will be a little bit easier for them than the last one was, to be honest with you.
Me too.
You have 2 players on the Cleveland Cavaliers that have to play for them to be good. Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love.
Right.
2 of the worst people defensively at their positions.
Ever.
Yeah, maybe ever. And you saw Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan look like, Lowry is a hell of a basketball player. They made him look like an all-timer in some of those games. DeMar DeRozan was just abusing anybody that they put on him. What's going to happen when you run a 1-2 pick and roll and it's Clay instead of DeRozan, or if you run a 1-3 and then you have Kevin Love on Steph Curry? It wasn't Kevin Love last year. It was Tristan Thompson.
Tristan Thompson, right.
Kind of stay in front of him a little bit, but then when Steph figured that out, he couldn't even stay in front of him
all day.
So it's going to be worse. Of course, they're going to score more points, but they're going to give up more points.
Right. I see what you're saying, because like last year was like Tristan Thompson and Delly getting most of the minutes.
Yeah, and they're better defenders.
Yeah, they scrappy. You know, they're not offensive players. So yeah, you losing some offensively, but that defense, yeah, man, that's a great point, bro. Damn.
They're gonna score a lot, but they're gonna
Yeah.
give up a lot.
Well, yeah, what you saying is, yeah, so when they put them in those pick and rolls and them niggas got wide open shots, then man, it might be, woo.
And another thing is like, okay, they struggle with OKC because OKC is athletic, they're fast, they're long. Cleveland ain't none of that shit. They're not athletic, they're not long, and they're not fast.
One player is all of that.
They have one player that's all of that. Everybody else is slow, old, or unathletic. So, okay, yeah, you do. I mean, even last year, I was looking at Steph buckle LeBron, so I don't expect. I mean, okay, we just gonna put LeBron on Steph. No, you're not.
No, you're not. Oh, hell no, you're not. Yeah,
That doesn't work at all.
no.
And even if you did, now they have shooters all over the place. I think they're gonna find that we're gonna see that their offense is gonna run a hell of a lot more smoothly against Cleveland than it did against OKC. And it'll probably be 6 games, but they're still gonna win.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one, man. It might get ugly.
So what happens if LeBron goes 2 out of 5, 2 and 5 in his finals career? Like, what does that say legacy wise for him? Because we know he's not playing against like Durant and whoever else is out here. He's playing against, as far as he goes now. It's about championships now. But if he's 2 and 5, what is that? But what is that about his career? I mean, Isaiah got 2, and nobody ever talked about him.
Me and one of the guys, one of the young guys, one of my young homies, at Larry is Legend. He was saying that the other day, like, how come nobody mentions Isaiah Thomas? And that's just it's another media thing. It's another part. You know, my thing is with things that happen. It's like part of it's like part of the bigger plan. You know, to phase guys like that out, like they never existed.
Like, look at how, like, when he got his 2 championships, right? He got his 2 championships between Larry and Magic's run.
Yeah.
So he should be, but nobody ever talks about him.
And the middle of the Mike takeover.
Yeah, and between Mike. So he was sandwiched in between. For me, those are my top 3 players of all time.
Definitely.
He was sandwiched in between them and somehow still found a way to get 2 championships. And I think they went to 3. They went to 3 because did they go to 3? No, they went to 2. They lost to the Celtics.
They didn't they? No, yep, you're right.
Lost to the Celtics. But what does that say about LeBron and his legacy? Because I don't see a lot of Magics and Mikes.
Wait a minute, didn't they lose to the Lakers in the finals one year?
Yeah, you're right. They did. That was a year that Isaiah turned his ankle.
Right. He scored them 25. He scored that 25 in the court.
They go to 3. They would have won that year. That was 88, right?
Right.
Yeah, that was 88.
Right.
Yeah, they'd have won in 88.
Right.
But if LeBron only finishes his career with 2 rings, can you somehow be amazed at the scope of his career and still disappointed in him?
Well, I'm not amazed at his career now. I think making the finals 6 straight times is a great feat.
It is.
But there's no reward for second place, man. Like, yeah, man, he made it 2. Oh, who cares? You win more than you lose. And that's what separates him from Mike, Larry, Magic, Kareem, Kobe, come on, man. Shaq Diesel, Tim Duncan. The list goes on and on, man. So
that's around to have the same amount of rings as Steph Curry.
Thank you, brother. This year. Yeah, exactly. And then, man, don't get me started on LeBron, man.
I don't talk about LeBron because I used to think that Kobe's fans, because I'm a huge Kobe fan, right?
Okay.
But I know the difference between normalcy and insanity. I know Kobe Bryant is nowhere near as good as Michael Jordan was. Like, you know what I'm saying? I understand that.
Right.
But I used to think that Kobe fans were the worst fans of anybody. But it is without a shadow of a doubt LeBron's fans.
Oh my God.
You can't say anything about LeBron.
Beehive, man. They
Hey,
the
also,
they the male version of the Beehive, bro.
anything you say about LeBron, it's like I was trying to have a conversation. I'm telling these guys, like, I'm amazed that he got the 6 straight finals, but if he only wins 2, I'm disappointed in that. Like, the two things can both be true. It could be an amazing feat that he got there, and it could also be disappointing that he didn't win.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they can reconcile the two in their head. It's just like, well, he got there. Yeah, well, Magic got to 9. He just happened to win 5 of them bitches. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people talk about Will Chamberlain like he was a loser because he only won 2 championships, but he was constantly losing to Bill Russell.
Exactly. The guy with 11.
With 11 rings, it's like LeBron has lost to the Mavs. He's lost to the Spurs. He lost to Golden State.
Man.
You know, and they're potentially going to lose to Golden State again. So he's going to have lost to the the Spurs twice, Golden State twice, and once to the Mavs. You know, and to be completely honest with you, outside of this is Golden State team, none of those teams were all-time great teams. He's just out there losing. And I think
I agree with you, man.
You know, I don't want nobody to clown me because I'm talking about LeBron James. You know, sorry, LeBron fans, don't send me hate mail. Don't clown me because I'm talking about LeBron James. I don't hate LeBron James, but I just think that I like to look at things from a level playing field. And some of the shit that goes on with LeBron James, some of the things that need to be said. At this point in his career, only having 1, 2 rings is a disappointment. And somebody has to explain to me otherwise. And I don't think they can. Okay, I think I got everything I want to talk to you about, man. Let me know where you guys anything you want to pub? I mean, go right ahead. It's your time.
Oh man, this can you hear me? I don't know what happened. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Loud and clear.
Okay. No, man, it's like I said earlier, man, it's the bigs. It's www.thebigs.us. And man, we just trying to be the voice for the people, man, for the culture, man. You know, we started that medium, that ESPN and Comcast Sports, you know, they kind of corny. So we serving that medium to, you know, to the culture, man, the people, the real sports fans, the real the fans that want the real and not just some he say, she say. So we're gonna give it to the people straight like that, man. So just keep up with us. You can find us on Twitter at It's The Bigs, Facebook The Bigs, Instagram at It's The Bigs. You can find me personally, Twitter at Stay Humble, and my partner Terrence at Tomlin Does It. And that's it, man. I appreciate you, brother.
No, we appreciate you, man. Like I said, I've been keeping up with y'all for a good minute. I want to link up. I'm always the whole thing about the corner sources is I want it to be like the people's podcast. So what I do is I have people everyday walks of life come in. They write something that they want to get out there. This is the platform to do it. So I've always enjoyed what you guys do. So I definitely want to get you on, chop it up a little bit, and we did that. So this is Dre. You know where to find us. According to sources at gmail.com. According to sources on Facebook. A2 sources on Twitter. If you have any questions, you can send it to the Gmail account. You guys know the whole thing about the network. We got the network. You guys already know all about that. So I'm not going to get into it. So I'm going to sign off for Dre. That's the Bigs. We out.
Love.